happening? What's good? How you doing, family? Much love to y'all. Much love to y'all. Hope y'all manifesting everything you desire, alchemizing the world you want to have, peace you want to have. Enjoy this shit. Enjoy this shit. I know our last video got cut off. I know I was in the middle of talking about the energy centers. Been meant to get back with y'all, but busy out in the community. You know, trying to elevate the frequency. Been out working and out working. But made it a promise to get back with y'all, and we gonna be tapped in for a minute. We gonna be tapped in, so want to get back where we left off at. I'm gonna run through this real quick. I'm gonna pop the thing open, but yeah, we talking about the energy centers. So I probably said it about 40 times already, but number one, the root, basically your spine, called the coccyx, associated with red and black foods. And how I was saying where I'm at in subtropical temperate deciduous forests. The root, the base of the body, bottom of the spine. In my region, the subtropical temperate deciduous forest to mulberry. That was the first fruit of the new year. It's our first harvest, and yeah, so mulberries are red, and the secondary color is black, just like it says on this energy system chart, the body. So I take that as nature is in communicating this language with us, saying that, yo, eat this tree providing this for you to eat. You ain't killing the tree when you eat the mulberry or any fruit. You know what I'm saying? How I talk about the live foods. That's how like, this is food for you. Because if you're taking away from nature, everything should be in a symbiotic balance. So whatever you get from nature, you're supposed to give it back. You can't give back nothing that's lifeless. So if you consume life, you give back life, and everything works in harmony. But so actually it's about probably a few mulberries still left on the tree. So we winding down. We about like at the end of the season. So scrapping together last little berries. Doing our last little tune up for on the spine this new year. So to make sure we got the right postures. So we can ascend to new heights. You see what it do. You see what it do. But during the time I've been away, I actually did a little more studying and research on the colors and whatnot. So I want to share that with you too. So, but yeah, before I go do that, number two, that is your sacral plexus, and that's below the navel. Little area bottom of your abs. Number three, that's your solar plexus, and that's above the navel, below the chest. Four is your heart. Five is your throat. Six is your third eye. Seven is the crown of your head, and I know that's where we got cut off at before I said that. But the top of your head, so from the bottom of your body to the top, 1 through 7, right there. And so let me break down these colors and show you how the colors really align to complete you, and how the food is an important aspect of that. I want to read something to you real quick, just some notes I took within the last couple days about color. So in this encyclopedia I be reading, it says the word color typically used in reference to the sensation received in the brain when the retina of the eye is stimulated by light of a particular wavelength. Also used to describe the property of an object. So in the additive process of color, when passing through a prism, sunlight is dispersed and broken down into its constituent colors, which are also known as the spectral colors. And they are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So right there, that's exactly how it breaks it down on the energy center chart. It goes from red, and then it goes to orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, which is dark blue, and violet. And it says it in those exact words. So to extend, to complete the transformation of your body, to ascend to a new height, to ascend to the next dimension, you need the spectral colors to align with each energy center. So if you're not getting that full range of colors, you lacking some nutrition somewhere. Your body is susceptible, vulnerable to disease if you're not getting that full range of colors. But you know, I said before, our region, I don't think you can get all the nutrients there. At least not in the concentrations I feel like you need, because it's like many of the colors like yellow, things we get like that are yellow plums and squash. Squash, that's tropical originally, so we're growing a different variety that's not the original to make it survive in the subtropical region. And yellow plums, not even sure if that's native. I know we do have wild plums, but it's debatable, but that's another conversation. But that's a start though. If you incorporating different color things in your diet, even though they're not from your region, that's a start. But to go further, to be your greatest, we need to create a food, not the man-made. But let me continue. Sunlight, it says, is basically white light, which makes it an additive color mixture of all the spectral colors. So I look at that as our temples. We like people. We are made in the image of the Creator, I'll say, and none of this would be here without the sun. So our temples are a machine made by the sun, the Creator, to experience, you know, physical life on this planet. So I'll continue before I go off on a tangent. But I talked about luminescence and incandescence. Light may be radiated by atoms and molecules. They are electrons excited by an increase in energy suddenly lose that energy in the form of photons. When that energy is increased by heating, the resulting radiation is called incandescence. When the energy is increased by means other than heating, the radiation of light is called luminescence. So right there, that stood out to me because I always say, keep the food live. Don't heat it past a certain temperature and you lose the nutrients. You begin changing the chemical structure, which for one turns it into a drug. But when you change the chemical structure, it's not what it is that you are, eating this food for. It's not what you're expecting to get. So it's a whole different entity now, pretty much. It's something different when you heat the food instead of eating in its natural state. So I always say, if you can't eat something in its natural state, if you have to heat it, then it's not food for you. I just look at it simply like that. But if you can just pluck it off the stem it's growing on, tree or vine, bush, shrub, whatever it is, and you can eat it, it's not too hard for you to chew. It's just you can dig in, then you're on the right track. And it's also, when I see the luminescence, me on my journey of eating live foods, I feel like I'm shining brighter. I feel like I'm more creative. I feel like I'm more confident, and be in the image of the Creator little by little as I go further on this journey. Was doing it wrong for a period of time, so it's going to take a period of time to reverse those wrongdoings, but I can already see the changes in the amount of time I've been making this lifestyle switch, and I can say I can't wait for the next couple years, because I've been doing this like a year and a half now. So the next year and a half, it's going to be beautiful. But also says, when an electrical discharge travels through a gas at a low pressure, or when salt is volatilized in a flame light of a specific wavelength called color characteristic is emitted. So that's kind of how I see, the food. Like, you getting food, but it's a characteristic of the food. You're getting a portion of the nutritional value, the vitamins, the minerals that you need. So if you look at it on a color level, look at it from the color, school of thought, then you will see how all this stuff aligns together. It's just saying it in different languages pretty much. But so I'll give y'all a definition of luminescence real quick. Luminescence occurs when the electrons in an atom are raised to a higher energy state by absorbing the energy and the photons of the light.